All right, what's up, guys? Good morning. It is Monday, December 9th, and we'll do a quick recap of last week and a preview of the week ahead here. On my end, it was a really good week last week. Closed about 25,000 in profit. 21,000 and change came from options, and about another 4,000 came from futures. So I got to figure out on TradesViz here, when I import my data from Schwab, how to pull in all the futures data. But yeah, really good week, and a big part of that came from Apple, where I made about 14,000 on the January 240 calls, and about another 2,700 on the 250 calls. All right, and Microsoft pulled in some cash, Kava, Broadcom, Coin, a little bit of everything there. But yeah, looking at Apple, we jumped in back in early November, buying that 240 call. Where's my weekly chart? Here we go. Buying that 240 call, with the major focus being this weekly squeeze. They push it up, they go through the consolidation phase, brand new weekly squeeze. We got the white arrow. Right, structure is perfect, momentum is perfect, trend is perfect. Squeeze, buy signal, and the perfect score. That makes for the A+ setup. Right, buying those 240 calls all the way back there puts you in a pretty good spot. You'll notice they just broke it out. They haven't even fired the squeeze yet. Yet we are taking off those calls for, more than a double. I do think 250 to 255, that'll be the ultimate bigger picture target. Shorter term, the move from 230 from that daily squeeze into that 3 ATR target. Shorter term, that felt like the easy part of that push. Took off the profit, and I took a really small chunk of that profit, and I've got a 260 call for February. Now from here, if Apple can pull back into 240, 235, then I think I'll come in here and buy a lot more of those 260 calls. But that was a good trade, and yeah, for the week ahead here, looking at the rankings, for the most part, the bulls are in full control. We got the QQQ with a 118 out of 120. S&P's at 115, Netflix, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, TSM, Apple, Microsoft, Google. They're all looking good, and then a little back and forth here for the sectors. XLY is bullish, communications, big tech, Bitcoin, ARK. Then you drop down, you got healthcare, materials, energy, gold. Wouldn't want to rumble in that jungle. But yeah, for the most part, everything is bullish. The bulls are in control, and it is their market to lose. Now, that being said, I do want to show you bigger picture. If we look at the monthly chart here of the S&Ps, keep it in the back of your mind, if anything. We had a really big monthly squeeze. They fire that to the upside. That kicks off the push from our 21 EMA right towards our target. In most cases, that's going to be the easy part of that push. From your 21 EMA into that extension. From there, it doesn't mean the market has to pull back. We could keep going, we could keep pushing. Just means bigger picture. We are closer to the end of that move than we are to the beginning. Keep that in mind. A few things that point towards, hey, we could keep on going higher. I think it'd be a lot of these weekly 3-day, 2-day squeezes. Right, Broadcom, who has earnings this week, we have a weekly, a 3-day, and a 2-day squeeze. Microsoft has a weekly 3-day, 2-day. The SMH with a weekly 3-day, 2-day. Apple with a beautiful weekly and a beautiful 3-day squeeze. Nvidia's got a 2-day and a daily. Meta with a 3-day and a 2-day. Point being, if they do fire to the upside, that'll continue to take the market higher. Nothing says they have to, but if they do, should take things into higher prices. Now for Broadcom, earnings coming up here on Thursday. And my question will be, can they get that weekly squeeze going? And they've got a good pattern going here. Weekly squeeze fires to the upside. They chop it. Another weekly squeeze. Mind you, all with our white arrow. Fire to the upside, little chop, fire to the upside, and we are going for round 1, 2, 3, round 4. If they can gap it up after earnings, getting Broadcom through 185-ish, should see that weekly squeeze fire to the upside, which I think kicks off a path into 200 to 210. Good for Broadcom, also really good, I would think, for the weekly squeeze here in the SMH. Keep an eye on that bad boy, and then Google here. Another one where if they fire that weekly squeeze long, we are looking for Google into 195 to 200. No guarantee they have to fire it long, but if they do. And Google, of course, is a pretty big piece of the puzzle. You get Google going another 20, 25 bucks higher. Good for QQQ, good for the SMH, good for all the above. Microsoft, I think, is very much in the same camp here. Again, if they fire that weekly squeeze long, 490 to 500. Get Microsoft up another 50, 60 bucks. I think great for tech, great for everything. Apple. Like I mentioned, we took profits on Apple, but give me a little dip here. I want to jump back in. I think you're getting that into 250 and change. And then finally here would be Meta. We took some small profits on Meta last week, but the 3-day squeeze here is a beauty. Momentum shift, brand new white arrow. They fire that one, Meta into 650-ish. Key thing to remember, nothing says it has to happen. And if it does, nothing says it has to happen this week. But in the shorter term, those are a few things that I think are shaping up to potentially want to keep on taking the market higher. And the last one for this morning is going to be Tesla. And a gap up coming into about 400 bucks this morning. I can't quite suggest a fresh entry at the open. But at the moment, I think Tesla's on its own planet. Any dip that holds price above 360, jump in and, buy that dip. Keep on calling for higher prices. Maybe not at the open this morning. And then we'll finish up here with Coin. We are going into the week with a put credit spread down here at 300. And that bad boy expires next Friday. Nice push, little consolidation, brand new daily squeeze. We got the white arrow. Pretty simple stuff. They keep it above 300. Look for that squeeze to break long. Looking for a move into 375 to 400. The benefit, of course, of a credit spread is if they can just keep it above 300 into next week, we shall be getting a paycheck. But all right, folks, a few things for you there before the open. And I will be live in about an hour, so we'll talk about it all over again. But yeah, really good action last week in Apple, Meta, Microsoft. Couple more names, and I am looking to keep that momentum going. And a heads up here, before the end of the year, I am going to do one more update. Nothing major, but couple tweaks. One thing being the watchlist columns. Now we got the color-coded action with the background. The background color versus the font. But all right, y'all have a great week. Go kick some ass, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.